Well, hello, my YouTube friends and family. So today I'm going to throw 10 channels into the room like I always do. Well, hello, my YouTube friends and family. So today that was a nice echo. So here are the 10 channels today. And after I'm done, I will put their links in the description below. So there's channel 1, channel 2, I don't know why this is. My boards are rocking. There's everything spicy. RK Entertainment is channel 1. Channel 2 is everything spicy. Channel 3 is marideathy, DEELZ. Channel 4 is Shadowz. Channel 5 is TurtleCreativity. Hey, Farmal. How are you doing? And number 6, I'm trying to throw all my channels out there. I try to do 10 channels on Welcome Wednesdays. Urban Lad. And he has quotations for Yorkshire. Busy. Oh, always busy. I'm telling you. Between the live sale on the channel and then taking and doing a community yard sale. And I'm trying to get all my books out of the background. So all I do is lift books all day. My back is killing me. I'm too old for this. I get a workout every day. Trending topic. Tis Lisa. And I found a couple Facebook pages if you guys are interested for more people for YouTube. Maxine Hunting. I'm trying to get it going to get, like, I can't talk fast like you guys do, but I am trying to get people to meet each other. And number 10 is lilstep Noel. That's my 10 channels this week. I think I had you one week already. You missed it though. Let me see here. What week did I say your name? Or did I have you yet? Hold on here. I think it was B&O I had. What I do is I go down. I was starting with my first video, and I used to do videos called Welcome Wednesdays, and then I kind of got behind because life. So then I started it back up as a live instead of doing a video, and I was doing 10 names a week. I would just do the video and then put the links below. Now I'm doing them live and putting the links below after the video is posted. No, I didn't get you yet. I picked 10 channels out of my subscribers. I try not to pick the same one twice until I got them all, and then I start over again, which is kind of nice. But I can list my names off. My first Welcome Wednesday was Metrosonic. Friday You Suck. He's a great supporter. Gotta love Carpet Pythons. All these people are great supporters, really. Pick 3 statistical categories: TPG's World, Texas Life Julie, Bajan Treasure, Tan Bear, Tosh Time, AU Pack Mule, Llama Monster, Patty Lang, Michelle Scott, D1 Gray, Karina Kaboom, Lisa Eldridge. These are my bigger YouTubers I follow. Danielle Ray, Courtney and Carly, Just Ann, Jeffree Star, and then Eye Candy Albums and Beyond, B&O Outdoors, The White Tupac, Josh Williams, Junk Journals, and more. I'm a Cool Mom, Tina A, Christine Romero, Nadissa's World, and Cab 7, Pusa Studios, P. Smith All the Way Live, Luz Mercado, Texas Julie, Karen Porter, 4 Trinity 1, Jacqueline 0473, Joanne Mendonza, Francis Armstrong, Angel Dreamcast, and then tonight, RK Entertainment, Everything Spicy, marideathy, DEELZ, Shadowz, A Turtle Creativity, Urban Lab, Yorkshire, Trending Topic, Tis Lisa, Maxine Hunting, and lilstep Noel. So I will have to do you for next week. What I could do is do my 10 and then come back and read from the beginning. That's even funner. And the Hennix family. I need to do Linda's House of Chill too. I like her. I'm writing down people for next week now. Hey, Twisted Racing. How are you doing? So what I see is I go down through my list and I actually look at my subscribers who I actually can see too. That's not only non-hidden people. And then I write their names down. For my 10, this is my Welcome Wednesdays. And I always announce 10 channels who's subscribed to my channel, Twisted. I mean Hennix. And then I do 10 channels a week and I go through my list. And I think what I'll do is just repeat the ones before, maybe like every couple times. I'm doing good too. I'm just tired. It's been a long week. Work. That's all I do. Yeah, I was doing videos. That's what I was telling Farmall before you come in, where I would do like a Welcome Wednesday and I list the people's names down below. Yeah, but Twisted, to me, I rather see people that's on my subscriber list. That's like when I do giveaways. I don't give giveaways to anybody I can't see. I understand that there's sometimes people do it for protection, but I also know sometimes people hide their subs because they don't want them to know who they're following and who they're not following, which is kind of underhanded. But it is what it is. It's, it's that person's channel. They can run it how they want. But for me personally, I refuse to give a giveaway to somebody who's not showing on my list. It just never happens. I go down when I do a giveaway and the people that want to be involved, I'll put their names down on a piece of paper and then I go through and I check to see if I can see them. If I can't see them, they're disqualified. That's my rules for my channel. Because I need to know that they're following me and not just saying they are. I want to see proof. I'm a realist. It's my nature. But anyways, my last giveaway was nice because when we go out to put our money into something, we want to make sure that a person that's a true follower gets those prizes. So I was like really excited because Tosh Time ended up winning my last giveaway, but I like Tosh. We've been friends for a while now, so it went to somebody I also know and see as a subscriber. Yeah, I know there's people that have had that happen too, but, that's a chance that you take when you're on YouTube, period. That's my philosophy. You don't have tough skin and you shouldn't be here. 'Cause stuff does happen. I'm sure people go down our subscribers list a lot. Yep, me too, headaches. I had some people from my Instagram win my giveaways too, though, before because they come over here every once in a while. They're not really YouTube followers, but they're really active on my Instagram. I've been neglecting my Instagram though, because I do a back to school giveaway. And I mean, not being rude, because like I said, racing, people can run their channel how they want, but YouTube to me is a place that you want to grow. Why else does a person do YouTube? I mean, some people don't have a channel and they come just to, support other channels, and I get that, and they'll have like a playlist of music and stuff, but I'm saying people who actually make content, it makes no sense to me why they wouldn't want to grow. Why would you want to hide? The whole point of YouTube is to be active as a channel, to show as a channel so that people can find you. So to me, it's just an excuse why people hide. I mean, you can't just use other channels all the time just to get growth. You also have to do your own work too, if you know what I'm saying. I don't go into somebody else's subscribers and ask them to subscribe to my channel. It's fun to be active. Like if you're a channel that promotes, like that's what I feel like my Wednesday welcomes are, to introduce other channels. And if people want to go check them out, they can. But these channels don't hide. They're here for the purpose of growing. So that's why I recommend these particular channels. I mean, what's the point in coming to, just to me, common sense. I wouldn't have a YouTube channel that I want to grow, put to private, because I want it to grow. But I want people to be here, not just as a number too. I want people to like my content. I don't join somebody's channel if I don't like their content. But then again, there's not really a lot of content I don't like. It would have to be a pretty sucky channel for me not to join. Because I like family blogs or vlogs, and I like the drone channels, the fish channel. I mean, I love a variety. So I'm really not that picky when it comes to like staying within a specific community. I don't mind. I'm not a gamer, but like, my husband loves PS4. I love watching him play, but I'm not a gamer. I could care less to ever sit down in front of a game. I didn't mind like Tetris. I think at one point I played that game until I beat it, and then I just didn't play it anymore. But you know what I mean. My husband's got all these when he played Resident Evil and stuff. It was fun watching him go through Resident Evil and find all the secrets of the house and stuff like that. And I didn't mind it. It's just not for me. Alrighty. Hurry back. But it's like I love a lot of other channels where you can go and promote and you can grow together as a community, but I can't talk as fast as some people. I'm a slow promoter. But I love it that they do it because they're fast and they're a lot of fun. Blood's another one. That's another one I've got to get. Blood. He's been in here on several occasions. I'm going to have to write his channel down too. But only doing 10 a week. It's just a little bit, but it's easier for me to just keep up with 10 of them because I go through and I look up their links later. They'll all be in the description below. But I wouldn't want, my thing is I tell people, go check out their channel. If you like their content, then you join. If you don't like their content, then don't join. Because I want to be a part of channels I actually enjoy watching. That's just me though. I like music. I like when people sing. I like a lot of stuff. I'm a variety person. I don't even mind watching mechanics. I think it's kind of cool to watch people fix vehicles and stuff. So what do you like to do racing? Do you like just gaming? If you're still here? I like crafting too. Crafting's a lot of fun. Fun times, fun times. I wanted to check these out and see what all these charms were. I got this little sack of charms. Oh, there's a tree. Oh, these are cute. There's the peace sign. There's a key with a flower. Oh, there's a Pegasus. How cool is that? I went on Amazon and picked up random charms to go on my junk journals when I make them. Oh, that's cute. There's a double heart. And there's Petty. There's the Paris. Eiffel Tower. These are cute. Hey, I'm always doing typos. Oh, look here. There's a kitty cat. How cute is that? Reminds me of the Siamese. We are Siamese on Lady and the Tramp. I wonder how many I have of the same. I could sort these, I guess. Here's another kitty cat. Here's another style of the peace sign. I wonder where they get these charms at. Oh, there's an angel. That's so cute. Here's a little bee. There's an elephant. There's a little heart with an arrow. Oh, there's a turtle. Oh, and then we have a little girl. She's got a little ponytail. Here's another turtle. That's a little baby turtle. And then we have a little fish. And then we have a hand. We have that's a cat face. Oh my goodness, a little fairy. Little fairy person. Then we have a leaf. We have another heart. Another little girl. She looks like she's holding a tennis racket. Another little heart. Oh, a little mermaid. That's so cute. And another key. And here's a butterfly. There's a tree. And here's a crown. There's a 4-leaf clover. Another little heart. I don't know what that says. Made with love. That's what that says. Oh, that's tiny. And then here's a moon. Oh, there's another little girl with a tennis racket. Oh, there's an apple with a leaf. And here's another heart. And that, I don't know what that is. It almost looks like, I don't know, maybe a seashell? And here's a hand. It says handmade. These charms are so stinking cute. Then there's another mermaid. She's got her back to you, and this one here is facing. Those are cute. These charms are adorable. And then here's a little boat wheel. That's cute. Musical note. Oh my goodness, we got a horse. I got a horse charm. Yay. And then here's another. This looks like a dragonfly. And then we have an owl. A kitty face. That looks like a Hello Kitty face. Then we have a key. That's a heart key. And here's another owl. There's a musical note. Another one. That's cool. And here's another kitty cat. I got lots of cats. A butterfly. We got another butterfly. And then here's a butterfly. And here's a butterfly. And there's a dolphin. How cute is that? Sorry, guys, I got kind of carried away. There's a little birdie. And here's another angel. Here's the other angel up there. And then here we have an angel face with wings. That's cute. And I think that, I don't know what that is. Looks like a design. Almost like a, I don't know, a gem. And then we have another butterfly. There's another butterfly. Here's a key. Here's a heart. Aw, there's a mama and baby swan. How cute is that? Then we have another angel. Another style of a cat. Here's a little bicycle. Little seahorse. Well, they had a lot of different varieties of charms in here. Here's another elephant. And here's another turtle. And this looks like a little set of grapes. A crown. A little fish. Another little fish. These will be cute for journals under the sea. Oh, another little seahorse. And then we have another key. And then here's a cross. That'd be cute for a faith journal. And here's a padlock. I don't know what do you use that for. And here's another kitty cat. Then we have a yin yang. And we have another seahorse. Hey, Louise. A foot. And then here's a feather. And here's a love. And there's a starfish. Hey, Super Mom. There's a butterfly. And a star. I'll have to add your name next week's too. I don't think I've had you on my list either. I do Wednesday welcomes on Wednesdays, and I pick 10 channels at the beginning to kind of do a shout out. Super Mom Go. So I'll have you on next week. Yeah. I didn't know she was live. I just got home. And then here's a heart. I usually do my lives on Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 9. Here's a fishy. And here's an angel wing. That's cool. And then here's another leaf. And here's another clover. And a key. I'm checking out my charms. I hadn't opened this package yet. Oh, this is cute. That looks like a little pumpkin. That'd be cute for a fall. And then here's a sun. Cool. And we get a skull face with bones. And then a butterfly, another butterfly. And here's a star. Just for you. Guess what it says? Yeah, it says just for you on it. And then here's a person with a backwards hat on. That's cute. And a paw. It's a little paw. That's cute. And then a seashell. And a star. I can't remember where I got these. I think they were on Amazon. I'll have to go back and look through my old orders. There's another little key. And an elephant. Oh, and it fell. Little elephant. And they have like these charms you can order for a price. And they get like a mix. So I don't never know what I'm going to get. So this is one of my bags. So those are cute. These will go on some really cute journals. Nice little variety. They weren't kidding. That's for sure. That's a lot, which is cool. Love this little horse one. And I have a little Pegasus ones. Hey, Francis. Nope. I haven't found any dragons or unicorns, and at least not in this bag. This was a nice, cute little variety, though. How was your day? Did you have a good day? Terry, what are you doing, mister? Are you giving me the zipper? Making everybody moderators. I'm turning everybody my favorite color. Yay! Francis is now blue. Terry, tape in the room. You'll be blue. Well, that's cool. I just got home. Oh, no. That's not good. Man, this has been a bad week for so many people with family members. I know I get doctor's appointments coming up I don't look forward to at all. I have one tomorrow. I have one the 25th. Ugh. I don't look forward to them. I know. Today was busy. I'm beat. Let's see what's in this one. I think I don't know if I checked this pack out either. I checked out one. I can't remember which one. I know it wasn't the little one. I think it was this one. Okay, so this one I haven't checked out either. There was two I didn't. This one here kind of looks like, I don't know if I bought from the same place. I might have. Because they sell by the variety. Yeah, these are a lot the same. But, oh, this is different. This looks like a coin. That's cool. Yep, there's a fish. Another elephant. An angel on Amazon. Oh, looky here. There's a guitar. How cool is that one? An angel. Another set of grapes. Handmade. Or no, made with love. And there's a pumpkin. Yeah, this must have been from the same place because some of them look similar. Here's another paw print. Another musical note. Another padlock. That's cute. I think I typed in charms and I found like a bundle of randoms. There's a butterfly. There's a seahorse. There's a hand. There's another butterfly. And there's a bicycle. And there's a fish. And there's a key. And this here is like a flat teddy bear shape. That's cute. And there's another kitty cat. Hey, Amy! And there's a little boy. And there's a key. And there's a heart. I'm checking out my new stash of charms. I had one bag I went through already, but these two I didn't. Here's a flower. And here's another butterfly. And here's a turtle. Oh, there's another horse. Yay! I got two horses and a Pegasus. I'm a happy camper. Oh, look at that one. That is so cool looking. It's another horse. How wild is that one? And I don't know what this is. This is more like a decoration type thing. It's cool. It's cute though. And then here's a leaf. And there's a little heart. And here's the Eiffel Tower again. I got a few of the Eiffel Towers. That's cute. I don't have my phone in here. Kitty cat face. And here's an owl. Or I would go look up previous orders. I think I just Googled charms. And I think they had a bunch of different listings. And I just picked one that had a lot. Because I wanted random piece on. But yeah, these came from Amazon. There's an angel wing. And here's that little girl again with her ponytail. And here's a foot. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. It's a little foot with the toes. And then here's a crown. Here's another padlock. These are really cute. There's a key. A double heart. Here's a tree. I might as well put these back in here while I'm going through them. You get like this little bag. Doesn't really say how much is in them. And then one thing about is when these bags are used, you could probably tear off these labels, I imagine, and turn these into shakers if you wanted to. A couple shakers, actually. Probably cut one of these in half. And then here's a 4-leaf clover. There's an apple with a leaf. Here's a turtle, another turtle. And then this is a sun, and on the back of it, it says made with a smile. I'm like, what the heck? I can't read that smile. And then here's another wheel on a boat. Oh, captain's wheel. And then this is a bee. I've had a dragonfly, but that's my first bee. And here's a tree. Angels watching. Thank goodness my friend gave me this magnifying glass. I swear I can't see nothing. Angels watching over me. I mean, that's like so tiny. So how was your day, Amy? Then here's a crown. And here's another hand, which says handmade. That's cute. And here's a little fishy. Here's another kitty cat. All right, Francis. You have a good one. I did a 10 channel shout out at the beginning, and then I added ones that I've had so far for my Welcome Wednesdays. So people can network if they want to. That's why I like Welcome Wednesdays. Terry, are things getting better your way? Oh, you're welcome. Mine's been busy. Ugh. I've been sweating my tushy off. And trying to get my books cleaned and boxed and out from my back garage and all. It's such a sweaty day. Here's the seahorse. Look at that key. That key is really cute. I like these little keys. And here's another little fishy. Here's a yin yang and a heart and a cross and a shell and a fairy. That'd be cute for a little fairy journal. And here's a musical note. Another key. A little elephant, little baby. Butterfly. Another butterfly. There's a dolphin. Aw, that's so cute. 2 swans. Looks like a parent and a baby. And then there's a star. Here's another star that I just dropped. Just for you, it says. And then here's another musical note. Some of these almost look like they were jewelry that they popped the jewels out of. There's a kitty cat. A seahorse. A little girl. Another key that almost looks like Mickey Mouse. Oh, that's funny. Oh, me too. I hate hot weather. Hot weather and rainy weather makes me so sleepy. There's another horsey and a feather. Oh, there's another Pegasus. I had a Pegasus in the other bag too. There's another skull face. Here's a dragonfly. And a butterfly. And an owl. And another butterfly. Yeah, we had a back garage. Like, I don't really have an adequate storage for extra books. So we kind of like turn our third car garage in the back of the house that we rarely use into it. But then the roof had a leak. So I had to move all my books forward into the center room. Oh my gosh, you walk into my bookstore right now, it's like a maze. I can only imagine what my customers think. And so I went to get all the books out of the back garage, you know, because I need to move them to the middle because I didn't want them to get mold or anything. So I got them, most of them, to the middle, but they are up on skids, which is a good thing. There's a mermaid, a moon, another musical note, a mermaid with her back towards us, a butterfly, a shell, the word love sideways. That's cute. Another skull made differently. A star, a butterfly, and a baby turtle. So there's my 2 bags. That was really cute. I enjoyed going through those to see what I had because I wasn't sure on these 2 bags. So the last couple skids I'm trying to get cleaned up. I mean, we're talking books like piled on top of each other. So I've been washing them as I put them in new boxes, and I'm bringing them into the middle area too because I found silverfish. And I'm like, ew, on some of the magazines. And silverfish love eating paper. They don't bite or anything like that, but they will destroy paper. So needless to say, I pulled a book out of a box today and I was going through it, and it was like, it looked really good until I opened the book and started going through it. And like right at the very end at the top, it was all chewed. I'm like, you're gonna be freaking kidding me. So that book's a loss. But one thing is about it though, is I can take that particular book, because it did have a lot of pages that were still okay in it. And I can tear it up and use those pages to make envelopes. So, I mean, it's not like it's a total loss. I will use part of it. And, yeah, silverfish are not paper friendly. So I've been trying to get them out of that back garage too, because we have a bird's nest up in the corner, and we have it's kind of like, it's attached to the house, but not attached to the house. That makes any sense. Like, there's no way to get from, critters to get from that garage into my house because it's like block. And we only have a door entrance off of my store downstairs. So it's not like it has like any openings or anything in it. But what I was trying to talk my husband into doing, we need to put a French drain in because there's a leak above the one wall. And I want to put a cement deck on it so that we can actually have a place to go grow and stuff. But right now we need to take care of the water problem on that back wall, because every time we have a real bad rain, it'll come in the one area. It's like where his tools sit, but my books are set more to the front of the garage. I'm trying to keep them away from the moisture, and everybody kept telling me, oh, put a humidifier in there. But the bad thing is it would never stop running because it's always moist back there. It's a very dark garage. Like, it's pitch black in there. So it's the perfect place for silverfish and stuff. So like the past 3 nights, I've been leaving the light on. Well, actually for the past I started cleaning the skids to try to get the rest of the books in here, because when people deliver, that's where I automatically set them until I can clean them, because I don't know where they pulled them from, if that makes any sense. It could come out of people's attics. It could come out of people's basements. If you would see the stuff that people unhoard on me, oh my gosh, it's like unreal. I'm talking like albums, 8-track tapes, cassette tapes, books as cassette tapes. I don't even know if people listen to this stuff anymore. I know vinyl albums are kind of making a comeback, but I'm not sure about cassette tapes. And VHS movies. I probably got 6 boxes of nothing but movies down there. So what I do is I go through, because I have a VHS player slash, because I still have VHSs I watch. Because I mean, when my kids were little, I paid $19.99 for them suckers. I'm not going to just give them up because the player's gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you put a lot of money out for those. So it's not like you can just turn around and sell them, because people are buying DVDs now. So I bought a slash DVD slash VHS player. So I still have one. And what I do is I go through the movies. It was cute because this little girl was in my store one day and I had a shelf of them, and she's going, I want that movie. And her mom's like, we don't have a VHS. And she goes, well, Aunt so-and-so does. So she bought the movie because I sell them cheap. I have like DVDs that I'll watch, and I sell them for about $4 or $3. I can't remember. And I think I have like $1 on VHS tabs. Not a lot. Or maybe it was like $1 and $2. Heck, I can't remember. I have to go look at my shelf. But I make sure they work before I sell them, because I don't know where they came from. So like I play them through my player. And yes, I have had to throw some of the DVDs away because they definitely had scratches. So far the VHSs they've stood time. I mean, none of them have been ruined that have come in yet. My daughter's had a Wizard of Oz one. The tape broke, and my father-in-law actually cropped it somehow and put it back together to make it work again. I was so thankful because my kids love that movie. So he fixed it. So that's the only one I've ever had that broke. But I have a lot of movies to watch. I just haven't had the time to watch them on the rest of the tapes that were brought in. But I got a lot of good movies. I mean, there was movies I haven't even seen. So I told my husband, one thing about it, we will never be without a movie night. I had even started, my grandkids were coming over like every other Saturday till we had a movie night with some of the movies. But then as they got older, of course, in sports and stuff, they don't want to go hang out with Granny anymore. But I still have a bunch of movies to go through. Oh, do I have a lot of movies. And then I try to sell them, and then if they don't sell in the store, I usually stick them in a yard sale. And if they don't sell there, then eventually I'll probably box them up. I haven't boxed any of them up yet because I haven't got through a lot yet, but I'll probably end up taking them and donating them to the Goodwill or something, because I just don't have the heart to throw away movies that work. I don't have a problem throwing away stuff that's broken, but I have a problem throwing away stuff that's not broken. That's what I told my daughter. I said, if you had a VHS player, your kids would never be without a movie. Because I've got like tons of them between kids movies and adult movies. Like, I don't mean like adult, you know what I mean? Like, not kids movies. That didn't come out right. I have like Harold and the Purple Crayon, but then I have like regular movies too. Like I had a lot of Disney ones come in. Then I have like Jumanji and the Olsen twins, and then just regular shoot 'em up action and suspense movies. So there's a nice variety down there. I just got to get him up here and play them all. But I have a long, excuse me, it's a long day. I'm telling you. Because I wipe the books down and everything and make sure there's no silverfish in them, because I clap them together to make sure they scatter. And then box them up and bring them into the room I know they won't live in because it's not dark. I keep it lit all the time so I can keep track. I went through this one box somebody brought to me. I've had a lady unload like a quarter of a pickup truck from her aunt's attic, and then you never know what you're going to get. And I went through this one and it had magazines in it, and there was a skull of a mouse. I was like, oh, that's so nasty. So you don't know, So that's why I like cleaning everything. That's why I say I clean my books. I bring all the boxes into the middle. Then I go through each of those boxes one at a time. So I'm always running into surprises. I don't really pay attention to what they are until I start going through them after they're cleaned. And then I open each book and go through every single book to make sure the pages are there. And you would be surprised at some of the funny things I've run into. Like, for example, I had this one book, 100 pages were repeated twice. And one of my customers says, was that a value? I said, no. If you write into it, they'll just say, we'll send you one, but it's not like you get money off of it. And it was funny because I was looking through it and I was like, that just looks repeatable. And it was. I just wonder how many they wasted off the printing press before they realized that. So I had one like that. And then I had a Stephen King one that came in, and I actually put it in my freebie pile because 2 of the pages inside the book, you would see the typing to each side coming in to the left and the right, and then down the center, there was nothing there. Like it ran out of ink. Yep. Because I want the reader. What caused me to do that is I picked up a book one time at the Goodwill and I got to the center of it and there was pages missing. I was so furious. Nothing like getting into a story and then it's gone. So I made it my purpose when I opened my used bookstore to make sure you get the story. And a lot of people like my bookstore because of that reason. And like, if there was one lady I had passed away, and there was someone that called me to come and pick up her book collection because she did not want them to end up in a library. People do not like those librarians stamping the name of the librarian discarded in the book. She hated that. So I inherited all her books when she passed away. Well, her basement must have had some dampness. I opened up a couple of the book jackets and I saw like this powdery residue. I mean, nothing bad. It's just they were starting to mold. So I went online because it was powder, thank God, and not wet. Because when you get those type of books, a lot of people don't notice them. But running the store, I've picked up a bunch of information about books. You go get like Dawn with alternative bleach in it, or another, I forget what the other one I have downstairs. So what I do is I take the jackets off and you don't like sop your rag, but like you really wring it out to where it's just wet enough. And then like damp, I should say. And I clean the whole outside of those books and leave them set out in the sun. I have a window that the sun comes through and it literally will kill it. So I did save those. The only time you can't save them with mold is mostly if it's like absorbed into the cover where you're actually seeing the green or it's in the pages. Those ones I can't do nothing with. But if it's just a powder on the outside of the covers, I make sure to wipe the jacket down and I wipe the whole entire book down to save the book. Oh, you would not believe some of the things. That's what kills me when people say, somebody said one in another person's comment section, they were talking about me because they're a-holes. and saying she just owns a bookstore. I'm like, you have no freaking clue how much a bookstore owner works their tail off. You think it's so easy when it's not. There is a lot of work involved that people don't even realize. That's just like when I used to be an airbrush painter and I used to paint light up plastic products like, snowmen and stuff that sit in people's yards. People thought you sat in a chair and did that by hand. I'm like, no, honey. It's a 40-pound mask that sits in the air and it goes through fire and it comes down a belt and you put it in, lock it to where just your color shows, and you airbrush that sucker and put out about 4,000 candles a night. I don't think so. You are on your feet working your butt off. But I love how people assume how things are done. It just kills me. There is a lot of work involved in being a used book owner, because even brand new books, that one by Stephen King that come through, it was brand new. Like looked like it was read once and the page things were gone. So this is what I did. I Googled, because sometimes some of these book sites will give you like so many pages to get you interested in a book. So I Googled this particular book and page inserts. And I actually got the 2 pages that were not showing the typed ink, and I took a pencil and filled it in. I literally finished those 2 pages with pencil. And of course, I couldn't charge for that book, so I put it in my freebies, and I actually had a fan of Stephen King come in and get the book from my store. I just gave it to him because I'm like, I can't charge for a book like this because the words are gone. But it looked like the printing press did it. It wasn't anything wrong with the book. So even brand new books can have malfunctions. So sometimes books will come into my store. So I think it's funny when people ask me if I get new books. I can't answer that question because my policy is I go through every single book to make sure you're getting your pages. So that means if a book comes brand new into my store wrapped, I unwrap it and go through to still make sure you're getting your pages. Oh, it's crazy. You definitely don't make out of your store what you put into it because it's a luxury. And people will ask me like you don't see a line outside my store. It's it is what it is. It's not a necessity. It's not like clothing or food or Walmart. It's just a place where people come when they want summer reading, winter reading, or in between. And every year I sell a different category, so I can't even go by that. It just changes. But what I really love is when you get these men, never women. You get these a-hole men that come in. And I had 2 of them. When I first started the store, this one come in and he's like, how come you don't have your stuff set up by authors? They are so awful. And I'm like, do I look like a brand new bookstore? And do I look like I order my books? No. They come in random. You want alphabetical order, go to the library. He sticks his hands up in the air. He's, ooh. And he walks out the door. And I'm like, yeah, scooch along. I definitely will never win Miss Congeniality Award. It'll never happen because it's my house. I don't lease. I don't work for someone else. So when I tell you to get your butt off my property, you better move. And the second guy that come in, he started the same thing. One was by authors. And then this guy, when I moved it downstairs, a complete different guy is telling me you should alphabetize by the titles of the books. And I'm like, do you own this store? And he says, no. I said, well, then maybe you need to open your own. I run mine by categories, not in alphabetical order. If I ordered books, I probably could be more organized, but I don't order them. I said, every day I open these boxes, it's a surprise. I said, I know where they're at. And then this other guy comes in, it's real professional. And he come from actually one of the cities close to me. His total outlook was totally different. We're talking a business suit and everything. He come in to give me his business information if I wanted to post through a not just to give you an example, kind of like Yelp or something you see online where you can post your business and you pay to kind of move up in listings. And that's what he ran, was a website that did this. So he comes in and he says, I love how your store is set up. He said, your educational is also your self-help. And I said, listen, I'm not the library. And this is how I wanted it to be. And the best analogy is I can give is this. Used to be you could go into a store and pick up you have 3 different cough medicines to choose from. This guy was telling me one day to come in my store. He says, did you ever notice how when your kid's sick, you're standing in the aisle for a half an hour because there's so many choices, you don't even know what to pick. You're like looking for symptoms on boxes. Me and my husband talk about this all the time because it takes forever to shop. Well, people have to realize a lot of the people that come into my store do not have internet access. I have there's a kind of like a retirement for elderly people that stay, and they don't do social media. So you ask them to look up something on Google, they look at you like you're crazy. They come into my store and read. They like picking up books. So the thing this one little lady told me, she says, I love your store because I don't feel overwhelmed. She says, I went into Office Max one day and I left because the aisles were taller than me and they were so massive. It scared her. And I get it because that's a complete different generation than the new generation. So what I did with my store is I wanted to do it different. So it's not like any other bookstore you'll ever see because I have autobiographies, self-help, and everything under educational, because to me, self-help is educational and autobiographies of someone's life is a teaching material of what they've been through. So to me, it's educational. So I stuck all that in one category. And instead of going out, because to me, I just think some can just keep subcategorying so much that it drives people crazy. So anything that keeps you on the edge of your seat, whether it's a whodunit, an action-packed series, a sci-fi, you will find all of that in my action and suspense. I'm not going to make categories for everything that comes in my store. I refuse to do that. So if you're looking for something like Moby Dick or something you can learn from, like say if you're taking literature class or something like that, most of those are under my young adult. So I tell the people, you don't have to be young adult to come and get those books, but they're under my young adult section. Then I have a category made up on my own because you can have romance, but then you have these one books that are Amish, that are more family oriented. They don't have the smut and all that like some romances do. They're like a real wholesome type of thing, but also a lesson for families. I made up a category in my store called Family Inspirations. Anything that's Hallmark to me or that type of type of book, that's under my Family Inspirations. And then I have a biblical, and I have one that's a mix of all the categories because it's continued series. I actually have a series shelf. That's where they all go. So if it's a trilogy in Nora Roberts to a set of Disney books, those are all under the series. I keep them separated. If I only have one of them, then they just go into the kids one. But if they're a whole set, they go on that shelf. But I think my store is pretty cool because when you walk in, after you get through the maze of boxes, you walk in my main door. My desks, I have one on the left and one on the right because the one on the left has all my computer and stuff on it, and one on the right has all my books. And then on the right hand side is because it goes in a circle. And in the center of the circle, I have a greeting card section. So when you walk around my store, it goes in a loop. So I took 1 year and I bought, it's on Google actually. I have a tour video, but it's really cool because they were having a special because a lot of like preschools and stuff like that, they have like orange, blue, all these different crates that look like the milk crate colors. They had them on sale at Walmart. I think it was like $2 or $3 a piece. I got a really good deal and I bought a whole bunch of them. And what I wanted my kids section was to be just that. So I have like a folding table up against the wall. It's got a big stuffed bear sitting in the back of it. And it's got those colorful crates where kids can just flip through, or the parents. So it's set like long ways and the books are set up inside of those crates. And then to the left of that table, I have a great big rocking chair with a humongous stuffed panda bear in it. And these kids love to come in and hug this bear. And then a lady who used to have I don't know if she was a teacher or what, she had a globe that lights up when you plug it in. And it's got like this little magnifying glass that goes up and down where you can actually look into each country and see some cultures in there. And they love that. I have it plugged in, and when kids come in, they like looking in it because it all lights up. It's like really cool. And then next to that table is kind of like a china closet with no doors. It's more like a country looking cabinet. And it's got 2 shelves and then a top shelf. And underneath it's got 2 drawers and doors that open. And I love that because it was perfect for my romance section. And I also have a radio sitting on it. So I have cassettes in the drawers because I do have a cassette tape player. And then underneath, all my cards that I keep stocked for my card section are stored under there. So that was great storage. And then you keep walking, and then my next bookshelf is my biblical and young adult and whatever else I decide to add. I have some magazines on that shelf and stuff too, because biblical takes up about 2 rows. Or no, that's not my young adult. That's my biblical and my magazine and whatever else I decide to add to that one. That one there is not quite full. The one next to it's my young adult, and I have some traveling books. If people come in, I don't really charge a lot for these, and I do have some maps laying there for free. There's more like some lady came in because Rite Aid, where she worked, she gave me a whole bunch of puzzles like Sudoku and crossword and word searches. They have no covers. That's how they deal with those books. They rip the covers off and throw them away, which I think is a little crazy. They sit there free. So someone comes in and they look at the shelf and they see the crossword puzzles, or sometimes I even suggest of sale them, and I'll say when they buy a book, I'm like, well, if you like playing crosswords or something, here, take this home. So I have freebies sitting back there. And I have like AAA books and stuff of different states and different countries. Like I have New Zealand. I have all kinds of like scenic looking type books, but I don't have a lot of money on those because I don't know how updated they are. Because there might even be road changes in some of them. And then there's like a few maps sitting there. So it's just more like for travelers to come in. I kind of have that. I don't have postcards, which I wish I did, but I don't. Because I kind of like being you know how you have them stop places when you're traveling with information. I kind of wish I had something like that set in my store too for travelers, but we don't really get a lot of travelers that hit where I live. So like an information center, if that makes any sense. And then next to that, I have a shorter shelf, and it's got cookbooks, military, Western, and crafting books. And then next to that is a great big shelf that's all educational. And then it's got some magazines on the bottom. And then the other shelf after that is kind of a mixture. That's the one that's got the sets on it. And then there's a short one beside it that's more like a bargain one. It's like my 20-cent shelf. And it's a bunch of mixtures. And it's like based kind of on like what the book looks like. Like what I do with my 20-cent ones is like they might have some discoloration, but all the pages are there. Maybe like a little tear in the back or something like that of the actual cover, but the stories are all there. But I try to keep them cheap because I think what I would pay for them, you know what I mean? And then some people like that shelf's there because they can pick 5 books for $1, you know? So it makes it nice. And then the shelf next to that one is my entire action and suspense. And that pretty much covers it. And I think I have some that say poetry, and I have like a book, like anything to do if I would get music in. I haven't had any music that people paid for, but I had this one guitar one that came through. The cover was missing, so it was in the freebies, and some lady picked it up. Because I do have a great big tote of nothing but freebies when you come into the door. And usually what I tell them is that you can pick up as many as you want, but try to like donate $1 or $2 to the fundraiser that I'm doing for the year. And sometimes they'll pick up like 8 books and donate like a $2 or $3, or they'll pick up a book and donate a quarter. It's whatever they want to do, and it goes into whatever the fund is. So, I mean, I have a good thing going on. At least I think I do. Works out for me. But it's really hard to get fundraiser money. That's like this year, I think I've got like $11 so far, which is really sad for the actual, I'm doing a fundraiser like I did last year. I only raised $207. I mean, when you think an entire year, that's a very low amount, but hey, it's better than nothing. I get 207 between YouTube and my store last year. People donated to my PayPal, went into the backpack program, which is a local program that feeds kids it started with kids who were asking the cooks after school if they could have food because they were in situations where they were low income and things like that. So they started in a bunch of churches around me, like in each town. They have a backpack program where they started putting easy foods for the kids. Like you can't just have any food. It's like applesauce and like different things like raisins, things that are good for them, but also things that they can get into and don't have to cook because they're littler. And they tell you how many kids are taken care of and stuff like that. Like the lady I donated to last year, there's a church that takes the money and then they buy all the supplies. And it really hits in the summer because I think it was like $400 a week they were doing through the summer to feed kids. Yep. And where my mom lives, it's called Weekend Buddies. Where I live, it's called Friday Friends. So each town has something. And a friend of mine who's on my Facebook, she's in South Carolina, said they have one in her area too. So she knew what I was talking about. So what I did was I raised $207 last year, and I took it, me and my husband took it and turned it in. And then the Women's League and the church sent me a thank you card and told me how many kids they were taking care of and stuff. And I read the card on YouTube. One of my friends from Australia donated $50. I said, that is amazing. Another country helping kids in the USA. That was so touching. And so that helped. But I had one someone who just joined my channel anonymously sent money it was just really cool how it turned out last year. I was so happy, but it was like the last 2 months of last year that everybody decided to do it. And then if like somebody comes in the store because they know my prices are so cheap, every time they tell me to keep the change, that's where it goes. I don't keep it. I stick it into whatever I'm doing the fundraiser for. In the 6 years I've been open, I've done St. Jude's. I've done DAV.org, which is Disabled Veterans. Hey, Danny. I've done the backpack program. And what's funny about the backpack program is what I did for the kids, you know, whose parents donated if they were with them. It's a bag of groceries. And I hung it on the wall with their name on it. So it was like really cool. I still have last year's on my wall because I'm doing it again this year. And it's not like I can give a link to this program because it's not out there. Like DAV.org and stuff is there where people can go donate themselves, but this program's not there. So I decided to do it again. Because what I was doing was I would write down, you know, the things that you could do fundraisers for, and I would stick it all in a hat and then draw one. And that's how I was doing it. But then I thought, you know, people can go to these other programs and I can suggest them themselves. But the backpack program, there's really no link. It just goes to a Catholic church in my town. So yeah, I love that they do this for the kids. One year I donated food myself. Like when I went into the Chamber of Commerce, I actually took food to a meeting. And there was the other thing they collect too, Capri Sun. Like they give you a list. I took Capri Sun, raisins, applesauce, and was it Velveeta cheese shells? It's one of the ones that's got the cups where it's instant and you add water and put it in the microwave. I don't know how good they taste because I've never tried one. Some people say it tastes gross. Some people say it tastes good. I don't know. But that's one of the items in it too. They were trying to make it easy for the kids to be able to get into stuff instead of having their parents cook for them. That was the whole point of the program. So there's like a list of what you can do. And what I loved is that the local stores know that these programs are happening too. So they would throw like a special out there, 10 for 10. Like they were making it so cheap because they knew that the backpack programs were doing this. I thought that was very awesome of the stores too. But I took a bunch in. I took like 3 bags of groceries and donated it to the actual program myself. So it's really cool. And another program they do here, not in my old town, it's surprising, just one town away, the town I was raised in, I moved a town up. They do things here that my town's never done. Like once you sign up for your water bill when you move here, they automatically give you a phone call with anything that's happening in the town. So like, for instance, I'll get a phone call and they'll say, oh yeah, tonight at such and such a time to such and such a time, which is usually 2 hours at the end of when the local pool's open. We're doing a free movie in the park and having free swimming. And if you bring a canned good to donate it, it will go into the pantry. I love this town that they do this kind of stuff. Or bring a school item like markers, pencils, whatever. And you donate it and they collect it all where the pool area is because it's like where our community place is. And then they collect it and they do that too. And what's the other thing they did? I was like so shocked at the stuff this town did. I was like, that is so cool because you're in the know. And then you can also take your name off the list if you don't want to keep getting the recordings because it'll come up city of, and then, you know, I know what the call is going to be about. It's going to be something that's happening. They tell you everything that's going on. I know. I love it, Dini. I've never lived in a place that's ever done something like this. But I like it because you're posted. Like they keep you updated on everything. Like we have a Christmas in the park in July. Anytime they do anything to do with when we have our military days, they'll tell you everything that's going on. so that you know what time to show up and what to do. And I just really love it. This is the town my husband was born in, and I was born in another town. So coming into these was really cool. And joining the Chamber of Commerce, I learned a lot. Like, I've met a lot of special ladies through it and stuff. And it's really cool. Because I had to get the number. I called one lady because I was trying to figure out who to pay for the backpack program. And I finally she called another lady who then I had to wait to call. And then finally I got to turn my money in. But my money was delayed this year. Like, usually I turn it in within the first 2 weeks of January. But sometimes if we have storms and stuff, I have to wait because that's our winter months here. But what happened was Etsy. Danny's going to love this story because I know how you hate your Etsy charges. Well, this is what happened. I took the money that I raised and I did a video on it and told them, because I know people on YouTube were waiting for me to tell them I turned the money in, because they like real people, not scammers. And with now day and age, you can't tell. And I was new to YouTube. So, people had to get to know me too. Well, what happened was I had just enough money in I think it was a low amount. It wasn't a lot of money. Like, I try to keep about $200 in my bank account when I'm doing with Etsy, because you never know sometimes, especially when shipping. So what happened was I put the money in my account that I raised for the backpack program. And I had an order of books that went to this very nice gentleman that contacted me through the bargain sites on Facebook. He was a Canadian. He wanted this set of books I had. So I took and set him all up. Well, what happened was when I went to hit the purchase on my Etsy for his shipping, it didn't go through. I clicked it and it looked like it worked, but then it didn't do nothing. So I sat there for a minute waiting, and I'm like, well, it's not spitting out the actual label for me out of my printer. So I clicked it again, and finally it went through. Well, what I didn't know was Etsy charged me 2 times for the same one. And we're talking like an $80 charge, and I did not have the money to cover it. So it took part of the donation away, like $35 or something like that. So I couldn't pay them until I got my money back from Etsy. And let me tell you, I went after them. I sent him an email. I have all the proof because I kept everything. I sent him an email. I got an automatic response that they would get in touch with me, and they didn't. Well, then Etsy also, in their terms of service, they have a time period. If you don't get that taken care of, like right now, your time will run out. So they never contacted me back. So then I wrote another letter, and then I had somebody contact me back saying that it showed up as 2 different numbers, like 2 different orders. I said, listen, it's the same order. And I print screened it and showed him. I go, you gave me 2 different numbers. Like, I had 2 sets of these books, because I told him what happened. I said, when I clicked, it didn't go through. So I clicked again, and you charged me twice. So then they still never got back to me, Danny. I kid you not. So finally I went in and I was looking around, and I found, I print screened the drop downs and everything on this thing where it said that my time had expired. I was like, I don't think so. I got a hold of them in the middle of the afternoon. I was print screening a bunch of different things to prove my point. And I said, listen, you billed me 2 times for the same damn order, and I want it fixed. No, this time is not run out, because I sent the email that I print screened the first time. I sent the email I print screened the second time. I sent the automatic response. I shot them everything. I said, now I want my money back. And it took me a while, because I was talking to Bonnie about it through Google Hangouts, and Bonnie's like, they better pay you back. She was getting ready to go after it too. And it took a while. And I'm like, you just don't understand. I mean, because I was waiting and waiting and waiting for them to reimburse me so that I could go and, you know, pay the church for my fundraiser. So my husband ended up spotting me the money out of his paycheck to, and it also, by the way, threw me into the hole. Like, it took me under to where I had to pay a late fee, like, you know, whatever that fee is, the overdraft fee. Because it just took everything. It wiped me out. So I called in. I'm like, listen, you not only cost me that, you cost me an extra $35 for my payment because you literally like bounced me out. I had nothing, under zero in my account. So my husband spotted me. We got the money back in and got that fixed until I could get the money back, but I still couldn't pay for he just got my bank out of trouble. And then, you know, finally they did. So it was forever for me to get that money. And then nobody asked. I kept waiting for YouTube, you know, my YouTubers that donated saying, where'd the money go? Did you pay it yet? Because I did not want them to make me think I was a scammer. So when it all got settled, I was able to turn it in and then read the letter. Oh, I'm telling you, it was awful. But that's the only trouble I ever had with Etsy. But they paid, so I'll stick with them because they lived up to what they said. But all I have to say is if that happens, keep bugging them every single day until you get your stuff back. Don't wait. Because they told me they were going to respond. So I like waited a week and then I went back. You know what I mean? Don't wait. Just keep going at them. But they did reimburse me, and they not only paid, I mean, they paid it in full, because at first the person was arguing me through the email saying they were only going to give this amount of money. I said, no, you owe me the whole amount. There's not going to be no partial nothing. I want the whole amount back. You owe me $80 flat. So they gave it back to me, but I was just so glad I was able to get everything done. But I was like, oh my God, I was like scared to death, but I won't do that again. I make sure now in case that happens, because I think his order came to like, he paid more for shipping, which is sad, than what he did for the set of books. It was the Survivalist series. I had all the books but number 15. He goes, I don't care. I still want them. It was $52 because I only charged like so much per book, and he had to pay $80 for shipping. Is that like not sad? I said, that's sad that you're paying more for shipping than the actual books. That's terrible. But they were $14 a piece, and they were a new kind of series. And he got a real good deal because I only had 2, I think, on each book, except for the bigger ones. I think I put $3, but there was only a couple of them. But it was like crazy. But he got his books. He was all happy and stuff. And I said, well, then I got double billed for your shipping. But it's okay. It's all worked out now and everything's done. But I won't do that again. So I told my husband, you learn. But I will never keep under 200 in that account again in case that happens, especially when you're mailing out of the country, because it's so high. Well, I know they take 5%. That's why when I do my things, and I know a lot of people might not agree with this, but that's just too bad. I take 11%. Whenever I'm selling anything through Etsy, I add 11% to it. Because it covers my taxes, which is 6% through my physical store. And people don't realize it, but web stores now have to pay taxes. Web stores used to get away with not having to pay taxes. That's why I think a lot of people left doing real businesses towards web. The web now has to pay taxes because a bill was passed. And Ipsy, my Ipsy and my BoxyCharm both sent me emails saying we now have to charge taxes. That's why theirs went up. And this is how I feel. There's a lot of people that don't like it when you charge them for your fees for your service, but this is how I look at it. They have a handling charge. To me, that is something I don't feel the consumer should have to pay for. I don't even use the handling charge. And they have the 20 cents. Yeah, that 20 cents is up to me, but the taxes are not up to me. You walk into Walmart or any other store, you have to pay taxes. So to me, the 5% that I believe that Etsy takes out of us is our taxes, because I don't get charged for my taxes through Etsy. I've noticed even different states, like my friend, she owns an alpaca farm up in Ohio, and she told me it was really weird because she said certain states higher taxes were coming out, because in West Virginia, I don't know what Ohio's is, but in West Virginia we only have a 6% sales tax. But I don't know what Etsy charges for taxes. And when I saw the 5%, that's why I added the 5 to the 6, because my butt's covered. I'm not going to not pay my taxes because I have a physical store with a license. I'm not selling my books under the table. This isn't me just going out and picking books and then saying, hey, or I wouldn't even have to have a store for that. If I was just selling books just because I was selling books, I'd be doing it through PayPal, friends and family, and not paying anything. But I literally have a license hanging on my wall. And I think it was funny when people were coming into my store because it's in my house. I think that's what they thought. And I'm like, no, I have a state license. It's a business. It's a real business. So I have to pay taxes. I can't get around it. So there is no PayPal friends and family for me. That's why I said Etsy to me is cheap, because I've set up my stuff on different sites. There was one site that wanted over $100 a month. They wanted to charge $150 a month. I can't afford that. To put my business on it, it was called it's web.com or something like that, because they had their own customer service they provided and all that. The ones that don't charge a lot of money, I mean, when you think about this though, Danny, versus Etsy, Etsy is cheap. I went to Wix.com and all I had to do, they charge you, it was $130 something for the entire year. Okay. Now this is your hidden fees. This was the main fee, because this is what it tells you. If you look at Wix.com's advertisement, it'll say, for this much a month, you can have your own domain. You can have this, and unlimited, blah, 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 blah. You can read it. Go to Wix.com and you'll see what I'm saying. What it doesn't tell you is they don't have shipping incorporated. You better know shipping to manually stick it in, which I have no idea. I've never worked for the post office. I uploaded everything to that. It took me 5 months, 10-hour days sometimes, because I had it set up like Goodreads. I had a picture of my book, the price of my book, a synopsis of my book. Everything was laid out. And it took me 5 months to get it there. And then when my kid went to shop for my channel, guess what? Or my domain, she couldn't do it because I had no clue how to do shipping. They don't have shipping. It's not 3 steps like Amazon and Etsy. You had to do it yourself. And I had no clue what they were talking about. It's nothing like Etsy at all. So on top of that, 300 something or 100 something a year, which you think is cheap, the search engine to find your books was another 9 something a month. On top of that, you had to pay the fee. And Wix's comes out as number 1. And they were the awfulest site I've ever seen in my life. Another fee that comes out is your actual domain. They tell you you get this domain like it's included. Well, it isn't. It's another separate price. So I paid all that money and never sold a damn book in 1 year. That was a waste of my time. So when my friend told me about Etsy that owns the alpaca farm, she says, Tammy, why are you paying hundreds of dollars to put something up when it only costs 20 cents? I will take the 20 cents and the 5% fee any day over the nightmare I went through with Etsy. Wix. I almost didn't do Etsy because I was scared to death after doing Wix. I was petrified, literally. I shut down my store and pouted for about 3 months. I wouldn't open even my physical store because I was so mad. My husband's like, "You're depressed." I was just so upset because I said all this work and it got me nowhere, but wasted money. And I wasted $800 my first year of advertising because to pay for a circular through the newspaper cost way more than what I could ever afford. I called and priced so many things to do. I even went through the phone book manually and wrote down addresses to the resident of, and over half were bouncing back. So then I wasted money in postage. People don't even know the nightmare I went through. Which what people don't realize is Etsy is established. I never heard of these other places. Unless like I've heard of Amazon, I've heard of Etsy. I have never heard of Reddit until I came to YouTube. Etsy, like Amazon, all I have to do is tell a customer, like some of the guys that ordered books don't know what Etsy is because they're not crafters. I say you check out just like Amazon. As soon as I say that, they know what I'm talking about. I said, I'll send you a link and then you can check out. And if you don't trust me because of spam and scammers, you can, type in my shop at Etsy.com, but it's just like checking out Amazon. As soon as I say that, I don't have no problem. But a lot of these other sites nobody's heard of. Good luck with advertising. Because all I have to say is if you don't get enough subscribers, they're not going to know your store's there. If you don't have enough places to spread the word, and that to me was the problem. Like I couldn't get enough people to see. I still, even in my local town, have people that pop in, like deliver pizza and different things. I didn't know this was here. And I'm like, I can't advertise it any more than I already have. I'm in the yellow pages in a phone book, which they also put me on the web. And they have my stores on Google. I can't do any more than what I'm already doing. And advertising is horrible. To get your name out there is horrible. And Etsy, I have found a lot of the shop owners will pass you around. Like as we get to meet people who are in the crafting community and we spread their names around ourselves. Like I'll tell somebody go check out someone's channel and usually their Etsy shop is underneath. That's the only way you can get around is by word of mouth. But advertising was horrible. That's why I came to YouTube in the first place, not to even do a channel. I didn't even know a common user could do a channel. I always thought it was famous people that had YouTube channels. Yeah. But the point is a lot of these sites are never heard of, and word of mouth doesn't get around unless it's gossip, if you haven't noticed. I've been trying to get my business out there. I've passed out business cards at garage sales. I've done everything. And I've passed it out even on Facebook, the whole local YouTube. And I still get people. I didn't know this store was here. Unless you say something bad, maybe I should come out and say, oh, man, you should shop at Minna's bookstore and more. They got worms. And then maybe people will show up. But it does. It's like drama goes so fast. But when you say something nice about a store, it don't go nowhere. And I even had another lady who showed up at my store and she says, can I ask you a question? Because people are afraid, like they don't know who to talk to. Her daughter opened up a homemade dress shop. And it's in a town away from me. And her mom says, do you ever have like weeks at a time you have no customers? And I said, it's funny that you asked that because yes, I will have like 3 weeks, nobody shows. And then all of a sudden I close the store because I have a doctor's appointment and everybody's knocking on my house door, wondering why the store's not open. And she says, well, my daughter goes through this. She says she hand makes clothes and sometimes people don't show, for like a really long time. She don't know what to do with herself. And I said, not me. I keep busy all the time because I'm cleaning books, going through books. And that's what I do with all the times that there's no customers. It's getting the books ready. So my days are filled even if I have no customers. But I told her, I know the feeling. And a lot of people, because her store makes stuff like teenagers and clothes and things like that. And a lot of people did come and tell her, why don't you have kids clothes? And I told her, I said, I bet you if she had kids clothes with the teenager clothes that she would have more business. A lot of people are always looking for kids clothes. Kids stuff around here is really popular. My kids section is the one I have a hard time keeping stocked because I make the prices so cheap for parents that they wipe me out all the time. So I'm always looking for kids books. And then it's hard because like I'll go to yard sales and I will go to the Goodwill and Salvation Army and different places looking for the kids books too. But the one thing about the Salvation Army is every so often they wipe their shelves completely clean and they throw them all away and send them through recycling. And they don't care what shape they're in. And I actually called the head of Salvation Army at one time in our area, the district, and I asked them, why would you throw these books away? I said, if there's any books I can go through, why don't you just let me? Well, if you don't buy them, you don't get them. That's what I was told. I said, well, you're throwing them away anyways. And it's not like I don't shop here for them. I'm just saying, let me know before you throw them away so that I could come in. And if you're going to throw them away, I can either buy them or pick through what you don't want. But no, they don't allow that. So here recently, it was crazy because we walked into one of our local Salvation Armies and I'm talking floor to shelf. It was filled. And all of a sudden there was this little pile and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, what happened? Oh, we did our cleanup. And then this lady came in right after me. She's like, where'd all the books go? I said, they threw them away. And sometimes I can't go in and buy them all. I don't have the money at the time. You know what I mean? Like I'll go in and get like maybe $20 worth at a time or something like that. It is a shame because if you'd have seen the books they threw away, it made me sick. I was in there the previous couple weeks and I bet you there was a whole shelf of hardbacks of Nora Roberts. And I know people love Nora Roberts and they all went to the trash. Now the Goodwill here circulates. Like, I go to another state that's got a fantastic Goodwill for books. And what they do is if books don't sell in one area, they shift them. They have like a warehouse and they take them and then they reshift them to another one because just because this area might not like these type of books, another area might. And I do admire them for that. Even though their prices are a little high sometimes because I'll see the things at the Dollar Tree for $1 and they're selling them there for $2. It's still going to a good cause though. And plus they do employ people. So I do give them credit because they are more like a store. But I got a lot of my stamps. Those wooden stamps I showed last night, that's where they all came from. I got really good prices on my stamp sets from the Goodwill. But I just can't believe the books that gets wasted at the Salvation Army. But then they've got to make their space too. So I don't know. What do you do and say, you know, it's their store. They run it how they want. But those are the places I usually go and I take the time to go through the books before I bring them home. And then I clean them and go through them. Yeah. As a matter of fact, Amazon, if you go into Amazon and you look at the cheapest books on there, most of them are from Goodwills. So that's what I try to tell people because people come to me saying, what do you mean Amazon doesn't sell books under so and so amount? I said, look at who the sellers are. Real bookstores through Amazon have $7 to $8, sometimes $6 if you're lucky, because they can't make any money. There's a calculator. It's called FBA or FBLA. I've done it. I almost went to become an Amazon seller until I found out how much your books had to be. I can't afford Amazon. Amazon, if you go to their calculator, and they do have a page on it on Google, I don't know what it's called though, but you type in, say, a $5 book, you know how much I would have made? Negative 14 cents. You type the amount your book is, and it goes, they have this page that breaks it all down for you. I wouldn't have made anything. So when you go in and you look at Amazon and you go under their used book section, Goodwill doesn't have to do that. They don't have to pay taxes and all that because they're a nonprofit organization. So you will find good sales like $3, $2, well, because it's from a Goodwill. But if you look for the real bookstores in there, if they're selling under that, they're not making anything, because I haven't found any. I would have to sell all of my books around $8 to make anything. That's why I said I'm not complaining about Etsy, because I literally can sell a book for $2. And what I keep trying to tell people who complain to me about my charges is, okay, break it down. $2. I cannot go under $2 of a book. And break it down. If I put $2 in, okay, take out 20 cents for the listing, take out 6% sales tax, take out 5% of what the Etsy charges are, I don't make shit. I mean, not being ignorant, but it's the truth. But if you take, I'm still selling cheaper if you just do the math. You take the $2 and just minus the 20 cents, but you times the 11 cents, 11%, that's not a lot of money. And you're still getting books cheaper off of me than off of Amazon. That's why I think people are crazy when they come at me like, really? I'm giving you a book for $2. Go ahead and find a book online for $2 and then come complain to me. Because I had somebody that was giving me a lot of grief about my charges. And I'm like, well, if you don't want to pay it, then don't. And I'm not being sarcastic. You can cancel your order. It's not going to hurt my feelings any. But I mean, seriously, 11% is not $11. You know what I mean? And I know that there's another person on here that makes junk journals. She even says she won't go under $3 to sell on her Etsy because she's not making anything. So that's where I come up with the 11% charge. And I don't charge the handling fee. Yep. That's why I do the live sales. Now, there are some people that sell this kind of stuff. They don't have a license. They're getting books and stuff together and they're selling stuff and they're not charging taxes because they're not paying them. They can, like if I didn't have my store and I knew people, but to me, that's illegally done. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just destashing. You're not a business. If I was doing that, like if I didn't own my store and I was just picking books for people, I can do friends and family and bypass it all. I wouldn't have to pay state taxes. I wouldn't have to pay. There's no fee that comes out for friends and family. But I will tell you this. People don't know this about PayPal if you haven't read the terms of service. And this just happened to me to prove my point. There was a seller on another channel doing a live sale. Okay. They give you their email address for you to pay PayPal. This is why I'm hesitant about using PayPal. And the only reason is when you send friends and family, you're not covered if you mess up. So this is what happened. The person that sent me their email, you know, where it says PayPal me / in the name, they had their name in it and it was a typo. There was an accident that separated their first and last name. Of course, me, I'm not paying attention. I clicked the link and went to pay them, and it went to the wrong damn person. It had her first name, but because her last name had a space between it, there was another person that came up for some reason. So my money get transferred to this girl in Australia, okay, at a Yahoo address. I'm out that money. It's gone. Once that transfer's done, PayPal will not pay you back because friends and family is considered someone you trust. This is not a business. I paid $37 for a damn typo and argued with them on the phone for weeks because they will not pay me back. And they told me to go to my bank. My bank's not the one that provided the service. I filed a dispute. And guess what, ladies? I lost. So that's $37 I'm out because of a damn typo. And I told PayPal, really? You were the service that provided this transfer. Well, I'm sorry, Miss So-and-so, but you look at the terms of service and it is there. They're not responsible. The closest I got was going to my lawyer because I have a lawyer for another thing. And he told me it is PayPal's responsibility, but because it's in their terms of service, there's not a damn thing I can do about it. So when I called PayPal, only one representative. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's still money for my typo though, Danny. And that's $37 I will never get back because of a typo. And they still should be protected. Your funds being transferred from anywhere should have protection. So to me, that's not a protection for the customer. I don't care if it's friends or family or who it is. So I'm not happy with PayPal right now, to say the least. But I can say it took me the third representative who actually put in a phone call or said they were going to put in a phone call into the person in Australia that got my money to ask for it back to be transferred back to my account. She was the only one that went that far to send it back, and she didn't. And I don't know what happened because I still haven't heard from her. So I'm going to have to call them again and find out what this person said, because what happened was an email shows up for this person. And when I tried to mail that person to ask them not to cash it because it was an accident, it comes back as a mailer subsystem demon, because this is what it is. The Yahoo email is no longer active because, Yahoo went down and they must not have, kept it activated. But it goes from that email, because it was the primary, to another email. So even though I got a mailer demon and I can't call, and then the second customer service guy said, after I told him what happened and I sent the email to ask that person, he had the balls to sit on the phone and say to me, I mean, can we say stupid? He says to me, well, you need to contact that person. I'm like, how would you like me to do that? Crawl through the damn computer? I just told you I got a mailer subsystem demon. That means my email is not going to ever go through to that particular email because it's not there. It's not activated right now. So how would you like me to contact this person? Do you give me the number? Are you going to give me that private information? I mean, sometimes these people, when you talk to them, are so dense. I can't stand it because I just told him this. And I'm like, I have no way to call this person. I don't have their phone number. All I have is a Yahoo email. I don't even have their address. It's PayPal, for God's sakes. You don't get that information from PayPal. You should know that. You work there. Oh my God. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. And I understand that friends and family might need emergency money, but there should be a hold, even sending to friends and family, where you can cancel it. But I understand, because Western Union's like that too. If somebody needs it for emergency, they probably can't do that. But I just feel like I'm not protected through PayPal now. And right before this happened, I had ordered a painting off of somebody in Canada. Okay, he has two Gmails. He has a personal one and one he uses for PayPal. Well, I thought he meant to send it to that mail, the amount. See, this is what I couldn't understand, why I didn't have the button to stop the transfer. Because I sent to his other email that's not connected to PayPal, but because it's not connected to PayPal, of course it didn't go through. So then I waited 24 hours and there was a button on top to cancel that order. And then the money never left my account. It just said pending, but it was still there until I canceled it. But PayPal told me because that one was attached to a PayPal, there was nothing they could do about it. And I'm like, so I can't reverse it. I can't do anything. I thought it was sitting in limbo. I just thought maybe it was attached to somebody's account that wasn't there anymore. And they're like, oh no, it was cashed. I said, well, if you can see who cashed it, then why haven't you people called them? That's all I wanted. I mean, what's the worst case scenario? At least the third one put herself out there and actually supposedly contacted the person. She couldn't at the time I was talking to her because it was like 2:00 in the morning in Australia. But she said the next day during the hour she would call. Whether she did it or not, she said she would send me an email after she did. Well, I haven't heard from them. So I'm going to have to call again because I want that $37. I told him, I said, listen, $5 I probably wouldn't have cared, but this is $37. That's a lot of money. Even $5 is a lot of money to some people. And you guys just took it. And I don't even get the chance of getting it back. And whether it's friends and family or not, it still went to the wrong person. So even a typo error should be able to be fixed. So God forbid you're human and you err. And the person that this happened with, she felt so bad. She was like, oh, you don't have to pay me for your. I said, no, I pay for my goods. I said, it was both of our faults because you sent the wrong one with the typo error. But then I went through with it not thinking because I didn't pay attention to it either. I said, so it's no big deal because I went ahead and paid her anyways for what I bought. But it just made me mad that PayPal would not give this back to me. And they didn't even try. The first representative could have even said, I'll try to contact this person since we see that it was cashed. Because sometimes people are busy, and they don't pay attention to their accounts. And it happens. But at least offer to contact the person for me when they knew I couldn't. When I told them that the email bounced back. They should have made the effort. And they didn't. And it took me the third time. So I don't know, but whatever. I'm just really leery now. It's like, I don't want to lose another money over a typo that wasn't my fault, especially that this person wasn't a friend and family. It wasn't somebody that I personally know, but that's how their online sale is set up. So I wouldn't have known what her email was in the first place, if you know what I'm saying. That's why I didn't catch it as an error. Because it was the first time I did business with her. That's what I'm saying. It's like, and I couldn't lie and say that because then it would get me in trouble for, well, why would you send that to somebody you didn't know? And I'm like, but I consider her a friend on YouTube. So when these people set these up for PayPals, when you're doing online businesses, you better be careful when you're paying somebody, friends and family, for these online auctions, because that's what happened to me. So I don't know, I'm like really leery, really, really leery. Now that I've shopped with her, I know what her email is. You know what I mean? But that was the first time. But just know, if you make a boo-boo, God forbid you misspell something, you're in trouble. Now, I don't know about eBay's charges. There was a guy that I talked to a while back who opened up tools, and he would buy businesses that were going out of business. He would go buy their tools and bolts at whatever they sold. And he said that eBay is really finicky because sometimes you can put up like so many posts and then you have to like list. If there's something else you're looking for, you can get in touch with me because you can only put up so many items at once. It's not unlimited. I've never sold through eBay. But listening to a seller, and then I don't know what their fees are. Like, I don't know what you have to pay to list, and what percentage and stuff they take out. I don't know all the details with eBay. The only thing that I had a problem with as far as Etsy was concerned was I understand that they're making their money by making people charge the 20 cents, but your stuff is only there for 5 months. And if people don't know your store is there, how are they going to know to shop? And I don't like being locked into a fee. Like, even if it's a $5, I don't want to be locked into something because I'm not guaranteed to make that $5. I don't know what stuff of mine's going to sell. But I thought Etsy needed to change something. Either you paid the 20 cents for the listing, and I think it should never expire, or what was the reverse? Not pay the 20 cents until the item sold. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what their point is of you paying 20 cents for a listing when they're making a % off of you anyways. Like, my husband says to me, well, the site has to make a profit. I said, but they are making a profit, because if they're taking 5% out of your sale, then why, or 50, however that, then why are they charging you 20 cents to post? So my thing is, if they're going to charge the 5% out of what you sell, then you shouldn't have to pay the 20 cents until that item sells, or pay the 20 cents and it's a never ending listing. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. I mean, eBay and all them are established names, but I just think that it's fine that they have the platform, but they also have to make it realistic for some people that have businesses. Because just because you post there doesn't mean you're going to sell. But I mean, I just think that if you pay the 20 cents, that should be all you should pay, and it shouldn't run out in 5 months. It's not that I disagree with the 20 cents. I think it's stupid that they kill your whatever you're selling off in 5 months. Because not everybody knows your store's there. You know what I mean? It's not like they push your thing out there, especially when you have the free one. Like, they have a paid version of Etsy store you can have too, but I'm on the freebie version. So it's like I hardly ever see my stuff listed. Like, I posted a junk journal, for instance, for Valentine's Day. It took me like 50 pages to even find it. So they're not like promoting you either. I know that Etsy's there and it's a site, but I just think it's stupid that they kill your post. I think that if you paid the 20 cents, it should stay there till it sells, or until you take it down. Because that could get pricey after a while. I mean, if you renew that 5 times, hello, you know what I mean? You're not making anything. So to me, it's either they should pay the 20 cents for your listing to just be there forever until it sells, and then take the 50% out. Then that would make sense, or the 5% out. That makes sense to me. But to make you pay 20 cents plus take the 5% out of you, that's where I agree they're wrong. Unless your 20 cents is included in that 5%. That's what I'm saying, Amy. That's the beef that I have with Etsy. If they expect you to pay 20 cents as a listing, then they should promote your items more. And what I see from Etsy is the people that buy their space or they're up in the numbers, that's the only ones they promote is on the front pages. I don't know. I just feel like the 20 cents shouldn't come out until your listing is sold. Or like I said, I agree they need to make their money, but personally, as me as a site, they got millions of sellers. So it's not like the site is freaking poor. I'm saying if I ran the site, I would be like, sure, I think 20 cents is great for you to post something that you want to sell, but it should sit there until you take it down or until it sells. You should not have to renew it, because now my site's not only going to do that, I'm going to turn around and charge you 5%. Plus you're going to pay. I mean, that's what I'm saying. 5%, 20 cents on your listing should stay permanent. And you should not, it should never die out. It should never go away or expire. I would agree with the 20 cents for each listing, as long as it can sit there for as long as I want it to sit there. And then once it sells, if you want to take out that 5%, I'm even okay with that. I just feel that doing both, where you have to keep renewing the 20 cents, they're making a killing. I think that 20 cent renewal is bogus. It should go away. Oh, that's what I feel. Because Wix, I could leave myself sit there as long as I wanted. And it was still the same price. You know what I mean? Like it was, I never had to pay for it to be listed in the first place. I paid like a yearly fee period, even though it was a lot of money. And then a lot on top of that. And they didn't have shipping, which sucked. And I'm not guaranteed to sell that much money a year. Because like I said, one's not a necessity. So I agree with the 20 cents, but that's why I have never listed books in my store, my Etsy store. Because I have so many books, by the time I would get them listed, I would be having a crap load expiring to be ready to pay 20 cents again. If you know what I'm saying. To me, this is why I love doing live sales on YouTube, because I don't post my books until I know they're sold. Once I'm guaranteed they're going to be sold, they're sold, then I'll post them and the people come and pick them up as special orders because I know they're sold. And I paid that 20 cents knowing they were going to go. And I didn't have to renew it. So that's why I like my Etsy store. Because I put a picture for special order, post it up there with the weight and everything ready to go, and then people can come and get it. But I will tell them from now on, there's 11% going to be added to that because of tax reasons. I don't know what Etsy takes out for taxes. I know that there's a form for, like a tax form that they show that you can fill out, but I don't worry about it because this is what I do. I keep that 11% there that covers both of my butt with my physical and Etsy store. And when I go to do my taxes at the end of the year, I just have it broke down for each business what I put into it. like pens and things that I use in each store, and then she does all that work. I keep them separate on pieces of paper, what I had to pay, and I do count that 20 cents for listings. And then she does the taxes. But I have, like, on my physical store, bookstore, I have a mileage page, and I have a page for what I put. Like, I have it all broke down. I do my own bookkeeping. I could probably do my own taxes too, because I did them a couple times for, and she just went over them, and I've never messed up even on my taxes. But I keep them separate. But the 11% is guaranteed I'm not going to be under. So, and if my customers don't want to pay that 11 cents, well, then they just have a choice not to shop with me, but they're still not going to get books any cheaper. Because just even like, I mean, when you think about it, a $2 book at 11% is only 22 cents. So they're paying $2.22 to buy a book from me. Oh, that is such a killer in your pocket. The 22 cents is just so much money. That's what I'm saying. And if you want to go to Amazon and look for the same book and pay $6 for it, go for it. I don't know what Amazon's fees are, but I still know that my books are cheaper. So, you know, it's just they hear the word 11 and they freak out. Like, that 11% is not really, because we have a place not far from me. Because it's within a, what they call it, there's regions. They even broke up. If you're in a municipal area, they charge 17% on their magazines when you buy from down by the bus station. I had an aunt that got a star on one of the walls down there. She used to sing gospel, and they had a magazine story written up about her. And I remember picking up a copy. She's like, I can't believe you paid for that. I gave you one. I said, well, you're my aunt. Of course I'm going to buy it. So I bought the magazine. I brought it home, and I looked at the receipt, and it had 17%. I'm like, wow, that's taxes, because mostly here it's 6%. But anybody can charge what they want. And in a municipal area, it's more money. Because when I got my taxes from my bookstore from the IRS, they broke down regions, but thank God I'm not in that region. But there is a place that has a bookstore. There's a fish market, and there's this bookstore that this guy owns, and he's never there. He's never on time. His bookstore never opens on time. It's funny because I had an author. I'm going to be in somebody's book. There's an author that I did an interview with in my store. I wanted him to do it on YouTube, but he said wait until after his book's published. So I'm hoping he will live up to what he says. But he came to visit. The Paradox is the name of the other bookstore, and I do go there. I love going down there. Oh my God, he's got stuff everywhere. At least mine's organized, but he's got piles laying in the aisles and all kinds of stuff. But I went there, and he has like this little nook on the outside of his store with free books for people to pick. It's just like really cool the way his setup is. It's just cute. And he goes, I can never find it open. So the author that came to visit me, he's literally writing a book on bookstores in West Virginia. So he covered them all, and he found me on Google, and he did an interview with me. And there's a picture of us on his Facebook in front of my store and everything. And he's writing about all the stores. Like, I don't know what his book's going to be about, but I can't wait to get a copy. So he sent me a message here recently, and he actually has his picture taken with Christy McNichol and Tatum O'Neal, which is two of my favorite stars when I was growing up. So it's really cool to see him with Christy McNichol, him with Tatum O'Neal, and then poof, there's me with him. Because Tatum O'Neal is Ryan O'Neal's daughter, who was married to Farrah Fawcett. So it's like she played in International Velvet, and her and Christy McNichol played in Little Darlings. Like, I know all their movies because I loved watching them growing up. And he had me write a summary, like a little, you know how like on the back of a book, a paper will give their, you know, like the New York Times or whatever gives like a little quote. He had all of us that owned bookstores tell why we liked mom and pop bookstores, and he quoted us, and my quote's going to be written in his book. I can't wait. I'm so excited. He's my first author. It showed up to my store, but my aunt, who was in the magazine, she also writes children's books. So she wants to do a book signing in my store, but I just don't have the room for it right now because it's so cluttered with books. I told her one of these days. But it's really cool. Oh, I was. Because he shows up and my boxes are all over the place, and he's just like looking, and I'm like, because he likes, like I do, he likes the kind of stores where you walk down like the narrow path and it's like floor to ceiling type of floor, because that's how the other store is. It's small. It's not big like I can't explain this guy's store. It's like you got 2 or 3 steps to get into it. And like right on the steps, there's a nook where there's a whole bunch of books on the outside. It's not even in the doors. It's on the outside of his steps. And he puts free books for people that just want them to come and pick, and they can read. And then it's a circle, but it's closed. It's not by any means like a warehouse or anything. It's like you walk in, you go to the right, and there's like these real aisles, but they're narrow. Like you can't pass another person walking down his aisles. That's how this store is so close. And he's just got everything. Like he'll have the biblical together and stuff like that. But like I asked him one time for a book, oh, it's over there against the wall in a pile. It wasn't there. He's got like, it's scattered because there's no organization like mine is. Like you'll see my action and suspense, but they're all mixed up. Like he couldn't tell you exactly what authors where. He'll just point and you just go look. So I love going into that store though, because it's cozy. It just reminds you, and I love mom and pop shops. I always have. I always felt safe in those type of places. Like you can tell there's like not a lot of money, but it's a comfort. And so I wrote my little paragraph to go in his book, and he's really big into one of the universities here, and he's always posting on his Facebook. It's under Matt Browning. You guys can go check him out. He is really nice. We had a great conversation. He asked me why I started my store. Browning, what a name. You know, like my favorite poems are from the Brownings. And so him having that last name was kind of cool. It's like, I wonder, is he a descendant? I didn't ask. Or if he was a descendant of Robert Browning. But anyways, he's really nice. He was really nice. And I asked him, I said, well, we could do this on you as a video and I can post it on YouTube, but he wanted to wait. He says, wait till my book's published. So he's supposed to come back and do an interview. So I'm hoping I'll get him on YouTube so you guys can see. But my aunt's children's book, she wrote Finding Pepper. And I don't know what else. She did a video with Finding Pepper, and it was at one of our local colleges where she did her book signing. And what Finding Pepper was about, a girl finding a Rottweiler puppy. And it's funny because I have the t-shirt that says Finding Pepper with the dog picture on it. People see me out and they'll be like, I hope you find your dog. And I'm like, no, this is my aunt's book. It's funny how many people ask me that question with this t-shirt on. But so she gave me the t-shirt for free, but I did buy the book and the movie off of her, but her movie is her sitting in a chair in a room full of kids. And she reads the stories to the kids. And at the very end of the movie, they bring in this little rot puppy. It's so cute how she set this all up. And a student out there was doing something in writing. So she represented her and they ended up doing the book signing. It was fun. It was really fun. And you got to have her sign the book and give it to you. And then you had a movie that you could watch in their auditorium at the college. And I do have it. You guys want to see it? I can bring the book in because I do have both of them, the book and the movie. And she, I think she wrote something else after that, but I don't have a copy of that book. And I had told my mom, and she's really hard to catch because she's a busy woman, but she used to sing in what do they call it? God, Tammy. I mean, I've been to this building. You ever hear of Jamboree in the Hills, where a bunch of country western stars come in a part of Ohio and they sing in the middle of a field? They have great big parties there every year. People from all over the world come. Like, we got Canadian people and all kinds of people, and it's nothing but country singers. Like, I went for a day. My sister gets free tickets because of a place she worked at. And did Charlie Daniels band was playing The Devil Went Down to Georgia. Like, I got to see all this live, and it was really cool. Jamboree. They have a building in Wheeling, West Virginia called the Jamboree. And my aunt sang there. Like, back in the day before Barbara Mandrell was famous, my mother actually met her through my aunt. Like, she knew all these people before they were famous. And my mom goes, she went to a Barbara Mandrell concert. She goes, she probably don't remember me because it was years ago, but when they were young and starting out, that's where they would go to start their music. And my aunt sang gospel and she cut an album. It was Joanne Davis and Jimmy Stevens. And they did an album together that I have. I have their album. And they traveled and they sang together. And she ended up with cancer, or she had something show up on her vocal cords. And they had to go in and remove them. And my aunt couldn't sing anymore. And she was so depressed because she is such a giving and loving person. You can't meet somebody more loving than this woman, and it's the truth. And it's not because she's my family. She was actually married to my mother's brother. She's not physically blood to me. She was married into my family, but she's still my aunt. She was my aunt my whole life until they divorced, and we still called her aunt. But she couldn't find her voice because she couldn't sing anymore, and she loves kids. So she started writing children's books to find her voice again. And I think it's amazing that she did this. And she's on my Facebook. And was it last summer, the summer before, she got her star on the Jamboree wall. They put a star up with her name in it. And I was so happy for her. But they sang at a church. The last time I heard her perform, her and Porter Wagner's sisters sang at the church that my mother was raised in. And it's like way out in the country. And it's a really cute little church. And it's got a beautiful scenery. Like, you literally are on like a dirt road. And this church is like in the middle of nowhere with like a swing set and stuff around it. It's just a beautiful down home country church looking scenery. And that was the last time I heard her sing. But she was great to be raised by. She was a great inspiration to me. But hold on a minute and I'll get her book to show you guys the book she wrote. I'll grab it. Yeah. Well, here we go again, guys. Every time I freaking clean, I can't find nothing. But I did find the magazine. Oh, I have her book and movie, and I moved it. But this was the magazine I had bought with her story in it. So that'll be for another time. Oh, there she is. It's actually got a picture of her singing. Oh, her book's published in here. I'll lay the page down. She's on my Facebook, Joanne Davis. And then Finding Pepper is down here in the corner. Try to hold it up to the camera for you to see it. That was her singing on stage at the Jamboree. And this is Jimmy Stevens over here. I don't know who that guy is. Singer, author, survivor. Because they did a fundraiser for her when her voice happened. And Finding Pepper, if you see it, it says her name. That's the book I have. I just don't know where it's at in her movie. And this is her story. They put it in a magazine. And they showed her growing up. This is so cool. I love this story. And this is her now. It's my aunt. She will always be my aunt. And she is so kind. This woman does not have a mean bone in her body. It says Joanne and Jimmy Stevens, which he's now gone. He died of cancer. Performed together for 42 years, a partnership that outlasted their marriage by 16 years. They were divorced and they still stayed friends. That's my aunt, who I claim is my aunt. Always. But yeah, they wrote a story in the fall of 2013, West Virginia Traditional Life Golden Seal. It's a magazine she's in. But she's a wonderful lady. I'm telling you, she was a big inspiration in my life. Very sweet, very giving. She tells me she wants to sign my copy. She says when you paid for it, so she wants to sign it, but I haven't had her do it yet. There's a paper in it. Oh, there it is. It's my little marker. But I have the book and I have the movie floating around somewhere. But this magazine is on my bookshelf. I thought I have a stand of movies in the living room, and the last time I saw it, it was in there, but I was cleaning off my movies because I was watching them and getting rid of them. And I moved the book and the movie, and I don't know where it's at. Unless it's on the same shelf this was in, and I don't feel like sitting there looking for it. I need to clean that shelf off. I'm turning it into my junk journal / favorite bookshelf. because it's one I redid. A friend of mine was moving, and she gave me the books that gave me the idea for my store. And she had this bookshelf her dad bought her that was like all messed up, like it was chipping and stuff. And she's like, you can have it, because I helped her move. So I took and sanded it, redid it, and painted it. Oh, I freaking loved every minute of it. I had so much fun redoing that shelf. So now it sits in my bedroom. Well, good night, Danny, and thanks for coming. I know I need to go to bed too. I get a doctor's appointment tomorrow morning. But that's my aunt. I love my books. So when people write books, I like knowing about it. And thanks for coming in, Amy. And who's the third person? Is Terry still here? One thing I haven't figured out about YouTube is when it says how many's watching, do you count as one? Because I was sitting in here one night and it said 0. So I'm assuming it's 3 other people besides you. I don't think YouTube counts you in the number. Yeah, because Danny left, so now there's 2 watching. So I don't know if it's me and you, Amy, that's here, or if there's another person. I never could figure out if it counted, because sometimes YouTube's delayed. Because I'm only here on my computer, so I don't know. That's weird. Whoever else is here, they're not answering, so maybe it is. How's Natasha been? I haven't seen her doing very many lives. I miss her jibber jabbing. I seen where she opened the mail, and then there was a second one after that. But I haven't seen her on much. Yeah, I noticed that. I haven't seen her either, and I miss talking to her. I miss listening to her too. Maybe because of school. I don't know if school's out yet or not. I know she was wanting to spend more time with family. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I like it though, because she keeps you company. Aw. I'll have to send her an email. Check up on her. I like Natasha. Well, I didn't know she homeschools. Oh, that's cool. Well, tell me about it. I think even when they're older, they need attention. I know I don't get to spend time as much with my mother as I like to. She's always running and stuff too, and I miss her. I miss spending time with her. And I'm in my 50s, and I miss her. I don't know how people deal without their parents. I don't. My parents are up in their 70s, and it's like, oh, I dread it, you know? It's like once your grandparents are gone, you know who's next in line, and it's scary. Yeah, me too. See, that's like me. It's like funny because I like listening to Karina Kaboom because I think she's funny. I don't know if you've ever listened to Karina Kaboom. She's supposedly a drama channel, but she gives out good messages too. I don't know. It's just really hard looking at her as a drama channel. It's like most of the stuff she talks about is factual. It's like, it's not like stuff she makes up. But I'll sit and I'll put her on while I'm cleaning the books in the back room, and I just let her videos like autoplay, and I love it because she keeps me company. Because you don't, like how some people do videos where it's like words and sayings and you have to watch it to read the words. You know what I mean? I can't do those type of videos when I'm working because I need to just listen. Oh no. Try watching her channel one time. It's hysterical. Like, she just kind of keeps you up on what's going up on the makeup community. It's really funny though, because sometimes she puts out serious messages too. And she's got Kermit the Frog and Funko Pops. Oh, I think she's a riot. But like, she'll tell you what's going on. Like, if makeup launches and it's bad, like right now, one of the bigger YouTubers is all over the place because hair came out on her lipstick. It's nasty. But anyways, that was actually on the news too. But she reports about that kind of stuff. But she also puts important messages like, if she's talking about a couple stars, say for instance, and somebody's been abusive to someone, she'll sit there and say, now ladies, you don't have to stay with somebody that abuses you. Like, she really puts out good content. It's not just, I don't know how to explain it. She gives good messages too. So I just like listening to her while I'm doing my books in the back room, and it's really funny. And I like watching Daniel Ray. She's one of my favorite makeup YouTubers. I used to be that way too. I actually started out as a makeup channel. So I know quite a few people in the beauty community because of it. But one of my highest videos is in makeup. I have over 900 views on my sleek makeup. But I was getting free stuff. Like, I got a bunch of free makeup and free brushes, and like different companies would approach for different things. I even had an eyeshadow named after me, which I will always carry that legacy, which is really cool because I got to know one of the people on Instagram who started a makeup business, and she literally named an eyeshadow Tammy. It's really pretty too. It's like a purple crystallized blue. It's really pretty. Like, there's different colors mixed in it. And so that will stay with me. I print screened it. But I enjoyed it. I mean, it was fun. It's just that I don't want to do makeup every day. Like, I don't know how some of these people, like, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how they could do makeup looks every single day as much as they do. I can't do it. I didn't mind doing them a couple times a week, but doing it all the time just got to me because, like, there's only so many ways you can apply makeup. Let's face it. you know. But my face would be broke out all over the place if I kept using a bunch of different ones. Like, I had to be really careful on what I used anyways, because skincare is more important to me than the actual makeup. But I do have masks, and I get a bunch of makeup I should actually be reviewing that's never even been opened. Heck, I was VIB in Sephora and everything. I had so much makeup, it's ridiculous. But I'm done with that. That's why I went to crafting too, because I don't want to do makeup all the time. I still like to review, like if I'm going somewhere, like going out, I will do a look or something and I'll do a video, but I don't want to do it all the time. Looking at me on my YouTube videos when I'm doing books, and if you go and look at my Instagram pictures, they don't even look like the same person. I took and I had blonde streaks dyed in my hair. And I'm not saying it to be rude, but I do have a couple makeup pictures. I am really proud the way I look in them. Because to me, it's like, I don't feel that a person has to have makeup to be beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I just think that there's people that fight rosacea and stuff like that that can be covered with foundation to give them a more refined face where you're not blotchy and it smooths out your skin tones. And I look at your face like a canvas. And when you're playing, it's no different than crafting. It's just you're doing it to your face instead of on paper. And that's just how I look at it. And I look completely different when I have makeup on. Yeah. And it's just, you know, and if it makes a person feel good, that's fine. But I don't feel they should have to do it because it's like a have to, you know, like you have to be skinny to be accepted. Like I don't believe in any of that. I believe a person can be themselves but still have fun wearing makeup. Yeah, and there's some people that don't. You should see me in school. I'm like the first person in mud as a tomboy. My sister was the one that used to have the mirror on her locker door, not me. I never even carried a brush in my purse. I'm the type of person that I would get up, brush my hair, go to school, and I didn't care what I looked like by the end of the day. And if I did wear makeup on occasions, it was very lightly. Like my makeup collection through high school might have been some powder and some eyeliner. And the only time I wore eyeshadows is if it was like a date. Like I preserved my eyeshadows for years because I never bought it. But I was always a tomboy. So I was never really into makeup that deep. So when I came to Instagram, I got to meet a lot of makeup artists. I don't know how I ended up being suckered into the makeup community, but I got to know a bunch of people. And then I got into this app and got to know even more. And I don't regret it because I've met some really amazing women in the makeup community online. I really had. But to say back in the day, one day you're going to do YouTube, you're going to do makeup, I would have looked at a person like, what the heck are you smoking? Because I never dreamed I would have did something like that. And I don't edit. So the feedback I got from some of the people on here was really incredible. Like this one lady told me, my daughter loves watching you do makeup. She thinks you're the most comical person because I don't edit. And I was doing my makeup one day and I went to switch eyes and I smacked myself in the tip of my nose with my brush. Amy, it was hysterical. That video is still on here somewhere. She says, my daughter was laughing so hard at you. She says, because you just wiped yourself right in the nose and you just kept on going after you laughed at yourself. And I'm like, that's because I think the bloopers are funny. And I wish more of the makeup gurus would leave them in their videos because it's more real. It's hysterical. And then I was doing this eyeshadow look. It was turning out horrible because I did the colors opposite what I should have. And the lighter ended up on my lid and the darker ended up like, I look like a freaking clown. And I'm like, well, that look didn't work. I took a baby wipe and I took it off and I started over. But to me, that's fun makeup. You know, when you're just playing in it and you're not taking it serious, but you're just having fun. That was a blast. And I had a lot of people that complimented. And my followers on Instagram at one point, they dropped because I've been neglecting it. But my followers at one point were past 3,000. I had more followers on there than when I started YouTube. I had 5 people. So it's just really funny, the communities that you meet. But I stayed in touch with a few of them. I know it was fun. But my makeup geek one took off. Like what I would do is I would go down through the Sephora app and the Ulta app because I had both of them. And I had never worn makeup because, you know, I always took care of my kids first. My husband come home. This is what started it. He come home one day and he says, well, if makeup is what you want to do online, he says, I'm going to give you a credit card. He says, go have fun and go buy yourself some top makeup. He said, just spend a couple $1,000s. Trust me, I did. It took me to VIP. VIB status in Ulta and Sephora. I even got to get a makeover done to my face. It was fun because I'd never played in it. So I figured, why not? He gave me the credit card, so I went loose. I had fun. And I used makeup I would have never dreamed of ever buying. Because when I ever bought makeup, I was always the five and dime type of person. I never went to the bigger places. Like I never shopped at Coffins or none of those high class places. So I got into these and it was crazy because for somebody that never did makeup, I was actually doing looks that the bigger YouTubers are doing. Like how I was applying them in 3 different steps and things I was doing. It was actually what they do. I don't know why. I'm not a makeup guru, but it was just funny how it turned out. And then I got into this app and there was people at businesses I got to know. They were sending me free makeup. If you would see the free stuff I have behind me, you would crap. It's crazy. I had people reaching out to me from Amazon wanting me to do reviews on their makeup brushes and all kinds. I got all kinds of stuff. But it was becoming overwhelming. Like if you go in and you watch like some of the videos of the bigger gurus when they show you their makeup rooms, I'm talking drawers of lipsticks. That to me is such a waste to have all that and then it expires. So, I just couldn't see it. Like I just didn't want to do it anymore. Because I was like, if I can take my expired makeup and turn it into my crafting, which you can actually use eyeshadows and things like that when you're crafting, like your junk journals and stuff. You could put it on paper. I can understand that, but I'm not paying $59 for an eyeshadow palette that it's just going to expire because I'm never going to use it all. Like, to me, that kind of makeup is for models or for people who are doing it every day. Like, you see people on sets all the time and they're constantly like under the eye of the like people like that. I can understand having that makeup. I don't think I've ever hit pan on anything. Even my eyeshadows and stuff from teenage years, I don't think I ever hit pan on anything because I don't use it enough. So to me, there's an expiration date to them too. I think the only thing I take that back. The only thing I ever ran out of was my Avon eyeliner. I think I did run out of one once, but I don't hit pan enough. And I probably got 60 palettes sitting behind me of eyeshadows. What am I ever going to use all that? So that's what I mean. And when it started coming in for free, I just couldn't deal with it. And some of the drama with the PR makeup online, people are getting free PR from companies, and they're reselling it and they're getting caught and getting in trouble. Like people make fun of them for selling it. And it's like, what do you do with all that makeup? You couldn't possibly use it all and it would land in a landfill. You know what I mean? But anyways, so my thing was I outgrew it. I got to try some brands I wanted to try and found out what my favorites were. I got to compare, what it's like to buy the cheaper store end, like at Walmart, and compare it to the higher ends. And it was amazing because I got out of my system what I wanted to do with makeup and I'm done. Because I got to do like Too Faced, which is one of my favorite bigger brands, and comparing it to like Wet n Wild and my Milani and that. It's amazing. Some of the store-bought that is really good. Like Milani eyeshadows are amazing. Wet n Wild is really good for a cheaper store. But then my favorite all-time high-end, I would have to say, is Jeffree Star's eyeshadows, which I like. And I just love Too Faced. Too Faced to me has the best eyeshadows. They're awesome. Yep. So I got to experience it and then I got to be done with it. And I did videos on comparisons and talked about differences in them too. So it was nice, but I just couldn't see me doing it every day of every hour on my YouTube. I just couldn't. I still have some more I would like to review, and I do products. I did a popcorn popper. Like, I like doing reviews when I get the chance, but like right now my books are everything. So if I would ever like close my bookstore or not do it, you know, down the road, I could go back to some of those items because I do have a blast doing reviews. I don't care what it's on. I think reviews are fun. So I did one on, I think, Wendy's salad, one on the steamers that was the cauliflower, which is really good. And, you know, just different things like that. I would put it in the title and do reviews on different foods and things. It was fun. Reviews can be a lot of fun. And then come back, like you do a first impression and then give it a chance and come back. Like, I need to come back on my Dove hairspray. I actually do like the hairspray. I like the bottle and the packaging. But after a month of having the same hairspray, the spray clogged and now it doesn't work. That I was not happy with, but that's something you can't get on first impression. So like I need to come back and do a follow-up. And I've done that on my popcorn popper too. I found out that when you buy regular popcorn that's not in the microwave, this is an actual Presto popper, which a lot of people don't like it. And I understand why. Because the lighter kernels that are smaller, they pop the kernels into the bowl before they're ready. They're not even cooked and they pop a bunch out. But if you put a heavier, bigger popcorn, which I did do a comparison, I had a corn that was a lot bigger than the first one. That tends to pop more popcorn. You did a booktube. Yeah, see, that's another thing I discovered about makeup too. Um, Once you do a review on one eyeshadow palette, you're done. You know what I mean? Unless you do a look later and be like, oh, by the way, I use this same palette. But like once you've done the palette once, nobody wants to hear about it again. Unless you switch to like maybe a different combination of colors. You know what I mean? Like once you pretty much explain how it feels and what it's just, to me, it's a lot of makeup. Like I would have to consistently buy all the time. And that's another reason why I stopped doing makeup, because it's continually, it's expensive. But I told my husband I got to accomplish what I wanted. You know what I mean? Because that's what my intention was. I said, even though my YouTube started out as a makeup channel, and I have done masks and I have done facials, you know, like different things. It's good for your skin. I told him it was more the comparison of the high end to the low end and what the difference and how it felt. And, you know, if something broke my skin out because I have sensitive skin, and just the differences in products. And I did accomplish what I said I was going to do. And then I just kind of faded back out. But I do feel bad because some of the people that I have met through the beauty community thought I was going to continue, but I just didn't want to. Like I got away with it. I got away from it. So when you look at my videos from back when I did makeup till now, it's like really funny because I've only been here for 2 years, but I just don't understand how somebody consistently do the same thing. I just can't do it. I mean, even if you would do reviews on products, you could probably start in your own house, like everything you use. But still, eventually, I mean, even the review channels, I've seen them going out in their cars even and like buy candy bars and different items just so, I mean, to me, that would get expensive because you would constantly have to do new stuff. So I don't know. But I like my book of the day. The only thing that somebody asked me once is if I would read books. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't want to get into reading books on my things. I don't mind reading the synopsis of what a book's about. And there are copyright-free books you can read on your channel. I just don't know if I want to do that. I kind of like doing the crafting live and the Wednesday welcome and then kind of stick with my books right now. I mean, I don't know what would happen if I eventually decided to close my bookstore, what I would switch to. I don't know, because right now the books are still there strong with me. So, and I'm not closing anytime soon. There is one channel that does, there's a couple channels that I follow that read. It's not all reading they do though. It's just every once in a while they'll bring something in, like one of them, Fairy Frequency. She's a tarot card reader. She read, what was it? The Secret Garden, I think. She found a site where you could go in and pick out books that are not copyright striked that you could read. She has a site that she goes to, and she told me about it. But I just don't know if that's what I want to do. She's good at it though. She's got a really nice voice, and when she reads, like, I can understand, like, people at night, if they can't fall asleep, they even have a channel on here I absolutely love that plays music with waterfalls. Like, some of them even have just the waterfall sound, and they are very soothing if you're trying to relax at the end of the evening. And I think sometimes when people get read to, it makes them sleepy and they could set their phone beside them. And I do think it's cool. I used to do a Sunday reading. I should still do it, but it's just what happens to me on the weekends is, like, there was times my kids would ask me to babysit and I got away from it. But I used to do a Sunday reading. I have a Serene Sunday reading. If you type it in Google, I'm like at the top. And I would read from this book, and I did contact the company from Guideposts and ask them, and they said that they didn't say that I could. And it's like, they're old books, not like the newer ones, but I would read like a page. You know, they were kind of like a 365-day type of devotional, and I would read a page every Sunday night at 10 o'clock. But I just got away from it because, like I said, I would get thrown off balance. Like, if one of my kids would ask me to babysit or something would come up, and I got off balance, so I stopped doing them. But I do know that there was a few people that liked that reading. One lady was real religious. She liked coming in and listening, and it is nice. It was nice and calming because I would put a picture up that I ran off, a scenic picture, because there's this wallpaper site you can download, free downloads. So each year I would change them. I would run off about 5 of them, and I would set a picture up and put my camera towards my phone towards the picture, and then I would read the reading while they're looking at the picture, which is really cool because some were like waterfalls and different things. And then I would take that picture down and use the other one. Like, I would keep circulating them. And then the next year I would start 5 new pictures. But you would be staring at the picture the whole time I'm reading. It was called Serene Sunday Readings. I do believe they're still on my YouTube channel. And I do miss them because they weren't just a downtime for other people. They were a downtime for me too. I might go back to them. It's just like I said, I get thrown off one weekend and then I'm like, oh, and then I'd forget to do it the next weekend, and I kept getting falling off balance. That's what happened to my Wednesday welcomes too. But anyways, I will let you go. I got an appointment I got to be at in the morning that I really dread and I don't want to go. But I got to go get a shower and stuff and get ready for bed. But thank you for coming in. I thank everybody for coming to visit. And whoever our third lurker is. I seen the number jump to 4 and it went back down to 3 again. I just wish all the people that were here would type in the room. So, because what I like to once they type, I can go visit their channel. You know what I mean? Like I go back to the live stream and just see who pops in, and I can right click and go visit their channel back. Well, you try to have sweet dreams. I have insomnia sometimes too, so I know that feeling. And the other person that's in here, you have a great night too. Good night. You take care, Amy. Keep in touch. Bye. Mwah.